This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth, and I wanted to go ahead and show you another beautiful sunrise off the coast of South Carolina. Where the sun and the moon appear and vanish on the horizon can't be explained accurately by what we're told by the self-appointed authorities from NASA. I'm going to go ahead and show you the numbers for the day. Tide's near me. There we go. And right now the sunrise has occurred. Yet it's hard to see because of the clouds in the way, but it's there. Utilizing the Nikon Coolpix P1000. If we actually went to the moon and left anything up there like a flag or a rover, I'd be able to show it to you. We didn't land on the moon. That's a hoax. It's a lie. Why would they lie? Well, to present a false reality to humanity. Keep in mind, Satan will use who and what he can, and God uses it all, including Satan, the deceiver. Social media is rather complicated, our interaction with it. It's not unusual for me to have 1,000 notifications a day. There's no way I can keep up with that. I don't even pretend to. What I would simply say is I'll do what I can to help direct people's thoughts and considerations to the truth. I encourage everybody to hear, share, and of course, obey God's word, which I believe to be true, and all others are suspect. Unless a man is born again, he won't even see the kingdom of heaven. So, even if you're trying to keep all the commandments, that's not good enough. You've got to be born again. Torah observance doesn't get you there. Using the Hebrew name of the Creator, that's not sufficient. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying you're not going to be able to, you've got to be born again to even see the kingdom of heaven. So, I hashtagged Jesus Christ recently and made quite a few posts. You might find them interesting. In the summer, the sun comes up way over here from this vantage point. Just want to show you all around how beautiful this is. The wind is coming out of the southwest, which is right over there, at about 8 miles an hour. 7 or 8, something like that. People come here from all over the world to enjoy the beauty and majesty of creation here. And I actually meet quite a few people out here and on the beach in other locations. I wanted to show you a boat over there. Ran aground over a year ago, about a year and a half ago, a sailboat. On my photo album, I've got thousands of photographs, images from this area and around the world as well. What's so interesting about this area is that it's next to the open ocean. As we can see right now, let's see, right over here, the clouds are providing just a beautiful area for the sun to penetrate and to just show a beautiful sunrise. People with cameras and walking their pets are all around. We'll be able to see the tapestry of reflection and light bouncing off of the washboard surface, where all the little puddles there are flat and level. Some people say, the earth, she's around. And I say, like a pancake? Like a compass? Like Scripture says? The continents rise out of the water off the face of the earth. Scripture says like clay under a seal. Just something to keep in mind. Water doesn't stick to a ball. Not a tennis ball for a puppy. Certainly not a globe spinning 1,000 miles an hour at the equator, 1,038. The sun isn't 1.5 million Earth sizes and 93 million miles away. It's relatively close. It's local and small, provides heat and energy for our food, for our bodies. Humanity is toxic with input, toxic with deception, a false reality being perpetrated by artificial intelligence, AI, as well as all the deceived people that have lived and left their fingerprints on this world. Just because I like a page or a video doesn't mean I agree with everything mentioned in it. If you have a concern with my perspective, you can call me. I make my information, all my contact information public. You could call anytime. Job 37:8, I believe it is, mentions that the sun is in the midst of the clouds. The book of Enoch talks a lot about cosmology. Enoch got a favorable mention by Jesus himself, and as Jude was inspired, and others in Scripture, just so you know. The earth is stationary and doesn't move. Good morning. There we go. There's the light beam being broken up by the the sand there, the washboard surface. Let's zoom in on that. I do have an infrared filter on here. And I'm using the autofocus. We got a video called Local Sun. It was shared by Infinite Earth and Flat Earth Research. It's got over 700,000 views and like over 17,000 shares, showing the sun in the midst of the clouds. And I'm proclaiming the gospel message there too. I haven't abandoned my faith or purpose in this world by mentioning the biblical cosmology. If you don't think it matters and you're all excited about Jesus and all of that, and you believe that the biblical cosmology is a waste of time talking about it, I would disagree. My activity, my digital activity, and my life in this world is basically dedicated to proclaim the reality that I thought I was born again until I actually was. I did all kinds of activity that one might expect from a born-again Christ follower, yet I hadn't been born again yet. I had a hidden life of drug addiction and alcoholism, hidden to some, not to others. Certainly not to God. He knew all about it. And about 4 years ago, I was on Reformation Day, or Halloween, as the Luciferian blood-drinking human sacrificers celebrate, and sweeten it up with a little candy distribution. Just something to think about. A lot of the holidays, holy days that we celebrate are not biblical commemorations. They're paganized, pagan celebrations, and Jesus, I don't believe, was the Immaculate Conception, and his birth, I don't believe, coincided with the accounts of the calendar as we know it. There's other deities celebrated on December 25th. Supposed deities, false gods. This world is filled with a spiritual smorgasbord. It's just the way it is. People believe a lot of things. Is what you believe based on the truth and reality, or just what you want to believe? According to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. So it's way beyond a satanic deception. God, who created this world, who authored Scripture, the autobiography of the Bible, the living Word, the living water, the great I Am, the Alpha and Omega, the bread of life, He, the spirit of prophecy. You're looking at Jesus. That's how I've known Him all my life. And you can use other references for Him. There's a lot of them. There are a lot of names for God. The one that I appreciate the most is that He's my Heavenly Father. And there's a lot of mystery in this world. One of them isn't life on a globe. The globe exists in the imagination. It was cooked up by Satan, allowed by God to deceive humanity. Lucifer, the fallen one, is the prince of this world. He didn't create it. He and a third of the angels were cast out of heaven, the account of which you can read in Scripture or listen to. It takes less than 77 hours to hear the entire Bible, or at least what we're told is the entire Bible. There may be missing books that weren't considered the canon of Scripture, and what I'll say with that is go ahead and explore this with all the urgency and importance that the truth deserves. So ultimately, I believe the truth is a person, is an identity, the identity of the Creator of the world that we live in. And I acknowledge Him and give Him credit for the beauty and majesty of creation, shrouded in a bit of mystery. The sun, moon, and stars move above the stationary earth. The tidal activity is truly amazing. It's accurately projected by the Tides Near Me app that I utilize. In the account in Scripture where Noah prepared for the great flood, once the ark was ready and sealed and the time was up for humanity, the notification went out that they should repent, and then God caused it, He sealed the ark, caused it to start raining, opened up the floodgates of heaven and the fountains of the deep. There's a lot of water up above the firmament that is accounted for in Scripture, in Genesis. There are supposed Christian ministries that are called answers in Genesis. They got it wrong. They're going to have to answer to God for that. God allows the deception to go on. Sun is not 93 million miles away. I don't know the exact distance or diameter of the sun and the moon. I just know that clearly they're not as the official narrative proclaims. NASA lies. Not always, just most of the time. They lie when they say we landed on the moon, because that's not a reality. Didn't land on the moon. Aren't going to Mars. Space travel, the space that NASA is most concerned with is a space between your ears to give you a false reality. To deceive you about that. And I'm one of the people that's not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. And that's what I will do as long as I have breath in me to do that. Please explore my content while you can, if you care to. I'm active on multiple social media platforms, and I'll drop in and create hashtagged named videos that I can put on a video, like that's a NASA video or one of the other Globe promoters. Sometimes those comments are just flagged and deleted, or I'm muted from being heard on the thread, on the comment thread. However, I'll keep proclaiming the truth about this, whether people like it or not. It's actually quite a challenge because there's a lot of opposition to exposing the reality of the world that we live in. A lot of people don't like that. They don't want the truth to be told. So, I'm going to give you a heads up on one of the. There's a little lens flare there. I'm going to leave it just like this, and I'm going to walk right into the shot, and I'm going to talk a little bit and let this run out. So to be clear, telling the truth is a revolutionary thing in today's world. It always has been, and it can cost people their life. It may cost me mine. Of course, I'm not. I was a spiritually dead man walking and didn't know it for over half my life. And so I share this message of truth, this message of hope, of new life in Christ, because it matters for eternity. I had a video out here that was a couple minutes long. It got cut off. There's another portion of it on my playlist. I talked and elaborated a little bit more on issues in this world, and I will continue to do that as they become, as I become aware of them. Looks like we might have an eagle in a tree over there. I recorded them yesterday. Now I saw this with my naked eye. Let's see if it actually is an eagle. Ah, yes. Looks like. What I'm going to do, I had wondered this yesterday, if the lens filter that's on here, the infrared, if that's hindering my my view, my focus. And I'm going to check this out right now and see how it works, if it changes that dynamic at all. So this is without any filter of any type now. He's looking at me. And one of the reasons why I went out of focus again, unfortunately. My lens is reflecting back at him off of the sun. That's one of the dynamics with that. Sorry about all the movement here. I'm trying to get back in on him. Okay. My coat was knocking against my tripod. I'm wearing the wool coat because it's a little bit quieter acoustically. The nylon and that is pretty noisy. Yeah, he's looking this way. That focus is not happening. It's not going out of focus because of the filter. I don't know why it's doing that. There he is. We got one like this on the beach too. Looking right at me from time to time. Right at you. Eagle eye. That's what my grandpa called me. Eagle eye. I can see birds from a long ways away. I would see things as a child from a long, long way away. That's why they called me that. And I could drop a shot in on a bird or a varmint from a long ways away. I don't shoot to kill right now. I'm not anti-hunting. I just I would rather hunt with a piece of equipment like this and show you a world from a different vantage point, from a different perspective. I'd like this to go viral, if it can. I'll be going to the Question Everything Conference in California, Lord willing, driving the Truthmobile there. I've invited everybody that I can to like that page and certainly to explore the truth with all your heart, to seek the truth with all your heart because it matters for eternity. Scripture says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion, helping or actually causing people to believe the lie they want to believe. How about that? Keeps looking back, of course. Eternal Perspective previously was the name of my channel. I'm going to pan on over here just to show you the amount of movement of the sun. So I'll line this up basically how it was with the notice the edge of the trees to the left side there, and then we can see how the sun reflects off of the water there. And people are very reflective out here on the beach, reflecting on the sand, reflecting off of the sand, reflecting on their past, present, future, lives together, lives lost, separations, marriages, deaths, memorials. Eternity is a long time to regret. And I want to do the best I can do to help give you a favorable perspective, that you'll consider seeking the truth with all your heart because it matters for eternity. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. I'll continue to expose the truth of this world that we live in as long as I'm able. I want to thank my friends and family all over the world for helping to share the truth. I've got a playlist called YouTube Truth that is the audio Bible I've recorded and put out on YouTube and Facebook, along with the beauty and majesty of creation. If you favor a different translation, there's over 1,000 languages of God's Word for free on Bible.com and Bible.is. A lot of references to eagles in Scripture as well. There's many translations and language options that are available on those free resources. It takes less than a day to hear the entire New Testament. We had a flood that covered the face of the earth to over the tops of all the mountains. Right now, apparently, Mount Everest is over 5.5 miles tall. You can't get water to stick to a ball. Certainly not 5.5 miles more. What we observe in this world is different than we're being told is the reality. The artificial intelligence that is controlling a lot of the public opinion and tracking, tracing, and databasing all of our activity can shut down the power grid wherever, whenever God allows. There would be a lot less people without electricity. Without climate control and food and fuel distribution, habitats, people would starve and freeze to death, die of disease and illness. This isn't a doom and gloom message. I just encourage everybody to hear, share, and obey God's Word. Humanly impossible to do that. You need to be born again for that to happen. It's a mystery. It's not I who lives, it's Christ who lives through me. I'm going to see if I can find him. There we go. I guess he wanted to take a closer look, huh?